Hey guys, Jerry here and welcome to my tutorial-esque Let's Play of TerraFirmaCraft. I am making a new world here, as you can see. Game mode survival, world name JerryFirmaCraft, just because that's what I'm gonna name my series. And seed for the world generator is gonna be my YouTube account name. So no bonus tests, no cheats, structures on, they're not gonna appear anyway, so yeah, that's all fine. Now, TerraFirmaCraft, as some of you probably know already, is a significant overhaul of what Minecraft really is. It's pretty much the changes go all the way down to I don't even know. It changes everything about the game, basically. So it looks as though right now we are in a somewhat temperate, cold-ish climate. I am picking up limestone rock, which is pretty good considering that limestone is one of the rocks that we can use for specific things later in the game. But for now, yeah, I'm just starting out the game by picking up a bunch of rocks and seeing what's below. Basically, you can't really break any blocks except for dirt with your bare fist. Dirt, clay, maybe sand as well. So yeah, as you can see, dirt will get broken. So what you do instead is that you pick up these little rocks in the ground and you start napping. That is, you're crafting your tools by chipping little bits of rock off of these. So as you can see, I can make a stone axe head here, and if we try again, I can make a shovel. I can also make a knife blade. I can actually make two at a time, like that. And you can pretty much make an entire set of tools, except for a pickaxe, out of stone. I don't think you can make a sword either. So what you want to do instead is just use knives and axes for early weapons. Now sticks in this game are they're not crafted really, they're gotten from leaves most commonly. So you find a tree, break down all the leaves that you can, get a bunch of sticks going, and then once you have a nice pile of these, you can take them and combine with your tools, or tool heads, and make your make a set of tools. I am really not speaking well today. Now that you have a knife, you can start collecting tall grass for use in thatching and other stuff. As you can see, you can craft a store into thatch here. Very useful for houses early on. You can also use the knife to punch the leaves a bit quicker. Uses up the knife durability pretty quickly, but you also waste less time. So once you're happy with the amount of leaves you're taking out, you can chop down the tree. Chopping the tree takes a while, like, especially stone tools are really not efficient. Once we find a location with some copper and we start making copper tools, taking down trees and such will be vastly quicker. Also, as you can see, it takes down the entire tree in one. Gravity is also a big factor in the game. Dirt, cobblestone are also affected by gravity, so as you can see, this dirt up here is unsupported, so if I could somehow give a block update to that, it would most likely fall down. But since I don't really have anything to reach up there with, I can't do much. So we got a bit of wood, we got some... need some more of this stuff. And then the first mission really should be to find food and find clay, and of course pick up as many rocks as we can. Sometimes when you pick up a rock, you'll end up finding a little tiny bit of mineral, stuff like tetrahedrite or native copper, which are both minerals containing the copper that you can then make tools out of. But until we find some of that stuff, I'm just gonna, do what I said, collect some straw, collect some stones, and then see if we can find anything useful. As you can see, the terrain here is magnificent by Minecraft standards. You'll also notice if I press F3 here, you can see that my Y position is 178. So we're really high in the air actually, compared to normal Minecraft, where, as you can see, the sea level over there is about 140-ish, I think. So the terrain is at the very least twice as steep. It also contains multiple layers of stone, so various strata. The deeper down you go, the rock will change. The minerals that you find depends on what kind of rock you're in, so if you're in a place like this with the limestone, which is a sediment rock, you won't find iron, for instance. You'll have to find some granite or something for that. Again, this game does need a lot of looking up on the wiki in order to play it. It doesn't explain a lot in game. Another thing I just want to mention before I close down the F3 thingy is the coordinates. As you can see, I've started at minus 15,000 on the Z-axis, Z-axis, whatever. That means that, first of all, the world generation goes a bit slow, but other than that, it means that when I'm facing north here, you can see the further north I go, the more it ticks down. That means C equals 0 is that direction. And at C set equals 0, we have the equator. So there's some sort of normal, or normal Earth-like terrain generation going on, where it'll be hotter and hotter the further south you go, if you're on the northern hemisphere, and vice versa. And I'm not gonna go over there. I'm actually gonna run the beep away from that, because that's not really something I want to deal with right now. Enderman, tons of skeletons, baby zombies running after me. Did I lose him? I think I lost him. So let us be a bit careful here, get away from that dark spot over there where all those mobs spawned. And see if we can find something that'll make our life easier over here. Before the first night falls, I'd like to find either some clay or some metal here, but again, it's not likely going to happen. This game is a bit tricky to start because you can't really do much until you find some metals in the ground. And the way to find them in the ground is to look on the ground. Like, you can't dig down until you actually find some, until you have some, a pickaxe made of metal. If you're wondering about the brief lag spikes you see, it's because of the intense terrain generation going on. With the sea level at twice the height, there's a lot more rock to generate whenever a new chunk is discovered. So as I'm traveling around, there's going to be a lot of these little lag spikes when the chunks are generating. And it's very much to do with the fact that Minecraft is still single core. Oh, what do we have here? It appears to be either some corn or some bell peppers. Can I harvest it? Oops, I did not mean to place that. Can we harvest this, or is it not ready? It's not ready yet. I'll kill it then. Get the seeds. This one was ready. As you can see, tomatoes. Nice. And the first one was actually also tomatoes, they just weren't ripe yet. Okay. So yeah, right now I'm heading away from the equator, which is actually the wrong way to go about it, in my opinion. I should really turn around. But on the other hand, it also gives me a chance to cut down some more of these trees. And yeah, basically just have a look around. As you can see, there's some clay over there. That's really good news, actually. I'm gonna go and grab some of that immediately. Now, clay, I believe, is also affected by gravity, the same way the dirt is. And if not, then at least the dirt on top of it will be. So if I dig out too deep underneath all of this, as you can see here, for instance, it'll start caving in, falling down. That's rock. Alright. You'll also notice that I'm not actually getting clay from all of the blocks I'm digging. That's to do with the stone tools not being that good, really. Let's see. Yeah, dangerous stuff happening there. Stuff can actually fall down and hurt you quite badly. So, yeah, not optimal at all. How much clay was that? 44? Yeah, let's get a bit more. Use up the shovel and then move on. Get some more wood before night falls. As you can see, the sun is setting over there quite quickly, actually. So let's just dig. Those yellow flowers that you can see here, they're a really good way to find clay because they only grow on clay blocks. Like, often the clay is hidden by grass, as you can see here. You wouldn't know that's a clay block. But because there was a flower, these yellow flowers here, around and on top, you then actually get a warning that that's clay so you can find it easier. That's a really useful feature that's unfortunately not mentioned that well in the various starter guides I've looked at. It took quite a bit of wiki digging to find that, so hopefully some of you guys will benefit from that knowledge. We need some sticks, come on. Now, because there are a couple of mobs here that you don't see in normal Minecraft, for instance the black skeletons. They're not really wither skeletons because they don't wither you, but they do use thrown weapons like javelins and such, rather than skeletons which uses bows. Normal loot from mobs is pretty useless in this mod actually. Most vanilla Minecraft items are. It's quite odd really that they haven't been disabled completely, because like stuff like rotten flesh, it doesn't appear to have a lot of uses. At least I haven't found any good uses for it yet. Alright, so night has fallen completely. We're stuck in this little corner here where there's no mobs yet. And we don't really have anything to build with. We need a couple of new knives so we can get some more thatch. Like, we need to make a little safe haven before the mobs discover that we're here. So time is of the essence, really. And we can't just build a dirt hut because the dirt will fall down. What we can do, however, is take this straw, make some thatch out of it, and then we can take some of this stone here, make some cobblestone, and then we can use this little dirt wall here. Whoops, we missed some stuff here. And let's put there. Alright. That's a nice little hut for us. Just get in this way. And there we go, we have a little window. Now, during the night, there's not really a lot we can do because we don't have any tools or anything yet. We can, however, make a fire. So to make a fire, you take 3 sticks, throw them on the ground one by one, and then make the fire starter here. And you have a little fire, which of course needs to be fed with pine or elm or whatever type of wood you have. And then when we have a fire going, we can start making some torches. Torches are really easy to make. It's kind of a boring procedure. You light sticks on fire, and then they work just like normal torches. They don't burn out or anything. So that's quite handy. It is a boring process, however. Now I don't want to use all my sticks, because we don't really have enough of those to spare. So let us just briefly light up a bit of this area and then risk going out at night here. I am on normal difficulty here, just making sure. See the zombies over there? Not fun. They haven't discovered me yet though, so hopefully I can get a... See if I can grab some of these sticks up here before I'm discovered. Whoops, I have been discovered. Time to hide. Or have I? Yeah, he's still over there, he's just hiding behind the tree now. That's not nice. And there he comes. The combat system has also been changed a wee bit. As you can see, my health bar is no longer the usual 10 hearts, it's instead like a large bar. Same with the other ones, which are food and drink. There we go. If we go inside here briefly and have a look, you can see weapons here, plus 75 attack damage, so that's a lot more than vanilla stuff. But on the other hand, if you press F3 here, you can see my health over here, which is 1000. So all the numbers have been scaled up quite a bit to make combat a bit slower, I guess, but also to allow for greater variety and damage dealt and health pools and such. So we got another zombie coming to bother us here, and one there, because of course it's Minecraft 1.6, so they hoard. Get out of our house! Another thing you'll notice is that I've actually managed to apply some sort of effect to him. I'm thinking that might be a leg hit or something, so he's a bit slower because I've supposedly hit him in the leg. As you can see, I've also been hit now, so I'm a bit slower. There we go, he's dead, and he's dead. Now, rotten flesh. It's just normal rotten flesh, and you can't even eat it. Alright, time to hide. This fire is starting to burn out slowly. Let's put another log on it. Make whatever torches we can. And then hope that morning will arrive soon. I know I've been talking a lot of random nonsense here, just trying to briefly explain what TerraFirmaCraft is. But there really isn't a lot going on the first couple of days. Until I find some metal on the ground, I won't have much to do really other than explore and try and gather more food. Find a suitable location to settle, near clay, near water, near minerals. So I think I'm gonna call this an episode for now, and then next time I return I will continue the hunt for metals and minerals. So until then, I'm Jerry and this has been TerraFirmaCraft. Bye!